Hey everybody, it's Mike from Electric City Sentai DenziCaster, and on this week of the DenziBlitz, it's part 2 of our look at Power Rangers Dino Charge. Now, if I can just remember how this thing works. Well folks, it is week 2 of our look here at Power Rangers Dino Charge on the DenziBlitz. Now of course, we're going through this disc by disc, as I explained last week. We have the complete season set here for Power Rangers Dino Charge. This has been out now for, well actually it looks like it came out this year, the complete set did. Now, if you're playing the home game and you bought the individual DVD releases, because they did put the series out on DVD bit by bit, then we're on Volume 2, Resurgence, this week. So those would be the episodes Breaking Black, The Tooth Hurts, Let Sleeping Zords Lie, and Double Ranger, Double Danger. So 4 more episodes here of Dino Charge, getting up through episode 8 this week. And looking at these 4 episodes, I've got to say, I'm really actually enjoying this. So you guys picked this season for me to watch here on the DenziBlitz, and I've never watched Dino Charge all the way through. Now, it's worth noting, I currently own every season of Power Rangers that has been released on DVD in the United States individually. Now, I do not have the big box sets. I've been buying the seasons as they've come out one by one. So that's how I've gotten mine. So I've got everything from Mighty Morphin through Operation Overdrive. I'm looking forward to getting Jungle Fury in December. And then I've got all the Nickelodeon seasons, we'll call them, Samurai, Megaforce, and Dino Charge, including their super sequels. So I've never watched Samurai all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces. I've never watched Megaforce all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces, and in both cases, was none too pleased with what I saw, but I'm sure at some point, somewhere, some way, I will wind up watching those for the DenziBlitz here as well. But this one, so far, so good. Chip Lynn's in charge, and it shows. So let's kind of give a brief synopsis of these 4 episodes. Basically, Breaking Black is our first Black Ranger focus episode. So as you go through the series, very much a trope for Power Rangers and for Super Sentai is to have the character focus episodes where everything is centered on a particular character, one member of the team. Now, we got that in last week's batch of episodes because we certainly had focus on Red and Pink in the first couple of episodes, and as well as Green, and introducing him to the team and seeing how they got their inner gems and became Power Rangers. But we already have Blue and Black as Rangers already. So at this point, you're kind of sitting there going, okay, so how did they become Rangers? Return of the Caveman gave us Koda's origin story. Well, Breaking Black gives us the origin story for Dino Charge Black. And the reason I keep calling him Dino Charge Black is because off the top of my head, I don't remember his name. I'm wanting to say Riley, but I could be wrong. That might be Green. I haven't memorized all the names yet. I know there's Tyler, and I know there's Koda. I'm working on the rest of them. So, the Hot Shot, which I like that. I like that they're keeping sort of the essence of Kiryu Black from Kyoryuger intact for Dino Charge Black, in that he sort of thinks he's a ladies' man and he is the sharpshooter. But one of the things I really like about this is this episode, and what they've done thus far is they've used the origin of each Ranger as the way to get their first focus episode. I think that's a really good idea. Breaking Black basically shows that he has this connection to, for want of a better term, a local gypsy, and who is from his native New Zealand, which may or may not be, where they shoot this. But when you go in and you start looking at the episode, she's the one who gives him the inner gem, and it's because he focuses through skateboarding. We find out he seems very aloof, very laid back, but the reality is that he does focus. He's just the instinctual fighter, where Green is more of the disciplined fighter. And again, that's a callback to Kiryuger, because you have Kiryu Black, who is very much the impatient, hotshot, follow feelings kind of thing, and then you have the very disciplined, prim, proper Kiryu Green. So I really like that. The monster of the week basically casts a spell on our heroes and more or less can bring them over to his side and corrupt them and make them fulfill his bidding through a medallion he finds in the shop. So I thought that was a fairly cool way to do, not really an evil ranger thing early, but a ranger under an evil spell. And the idea that he is so focused is Dino Charge Black that when he's on the skateboard, or anything that resembles one, if he's on something with wheels, then he can focus on the task at hand, even focusing so much that his focus becomes so strong that he's able to overcome the spell. I think that's a really cool concept. Another thing that I also really liked about the end of the episode is when Sledge is essentially looking over the wreckage of this criminal, this monster that has been destroyed by the Rangers, they find that magic medallion, and he doesn't discard it. He actually makes a point of telling Fury, no, hold on to this, it might be useful later. So we're starting to see a little serialized storytelling. I really dig that. Now the question is, will they forget they have the medallion? Well, we'll see. But I'm given hope by the next episode, The Tooth Hurts. Now, I remember the Kiryuger version of this episode, which basically is this monster that uses sweets to give people toothaches and distract them, and basically it's the dental hygiene episode. And we get sort of the same thing here, but I like the setup for it more in this one, and that being Poisandra, who is this series' version of the Chevlar of Love from Kiryuger. You have her and Sledge as essentially an engaged couple, and to have them and kind of bickering back and forth is nice and gives some interplay, but her motivation for releasing this criminal, remember, Sledge is a bounty hunter. All of the monsters are criminals he's captured, and still has aboard his ship for one reason or another. The monster that she releases, this criminal, was a baker, apparently, and he wants she wants him rather, to bake the wedding cake, the perfect cake for him and her and Sledge, rather. And so, very interesting concept, and it leads us to the cake that does give the toothaches and does create the pain and the blues and the agony for the Rangers. So I appreciate that. And it's a little more of Black and Green having their moments and kind of setting them up as a duo, which I appreciate that. Again, it's them putting their spin on something Kiryuger did, and they're going to have to play with that footage where Green and Black are often the dynamic duo, so to speak, of the team. So I enjoyed the episode, and what I really enjoyed is the very beginning of the episode, where we have Green trying to train, Black is a bit of a distraction, and Green tells him, but you of all people should understand the importance of having to focus. And it's a callback to the previous episode. And if you had never seen Breaking Black, if you'd never seen episode 5, would you be lost in this moment? Probably not. But does it help if you did? Does it help make the world a little bit bigger? Yes, it does. So I really like that. Let Sleeping Zords Lie is where we see, this is more or less a focus episode on Dino Pink. She is out to prove that she is as good and can contribute as much as anyone else, come hell or high water. And she essentially finds a way to seek out the Inner Gems and to seek out the Zords. And they find the Ankylo-Zord. They create new Chargers without the Inner Gem, using the powers of the other 5 in order to try to control the Zord. But the Zord is presently under the control of a monster who puts darts in things to make them more or less fall into this berserker rage. More or less, this is the story from Kyryuger. If I recall correctly, they even had a similar satellite device in Kyryuger to try to seek out the Zords. Obviously, the Inner Gems are a new ripple for Dino Charge. So I rather enjoyed that. I think it's an interesting concept, and I like it. The following episode kind of plays right into it. Fury actually tracks down. He actually captures the Seeker, this radar for seeking out Inner Gems. And in Double Ranger, Double Danger, we get essentially a little more Fury. We get a lot of focus on Red. We get the cloning monster that can clone our foot soldiers into Rangers, so we get that. The big takeaways from these 2 episodes are the Ankylo-Zord, which will lead to, it was Kiryu Cyan in Kyryuger. In this, it will be the Aqua Ranger. So it's going to lead us to that, but also we get more of the Fury-Tyler relationship, and we see Fury fighting to maintain control against this golden aura that is trying to escape from his body. And I know what that could be from Kyryuger. I'm going to be very interested to see if they follow that similar storyline here. It would be interesting to see if that's what they do. And the reason I say that is because they've gone such a long way to explain away a caveman in the 21st century. They literally tell you the Dino Gems will stop the aging process, and that Koda was encased in ice for 100,000 years. So even within this highly fictionalized world, they're going out of their way to try to make certain things make sense. So that I really do appreciate. So out of these 4 episodes, as usual, as has become my habit, I kind of give you my ideas of what are and are not the essential episodes for each season. Now, I will say this: for Disc 1, all 4 episodes are essentials to the series. There's none of them you can really do without. And the pacing that we're getting here, there may never be an episode we can do without. I don't really know how much filler is in this series. I think you need Breaking Black because it's the origin of our Black Ranger, how he gets his Inner Gem. Maybe you could do without The Tooth Hurts. It's a fun episode, but not necessarily one you've got to have. Let Sleeping Zords Lie and Double Ranger, Double Danger, I think for some of the world building and storytelling that's going on, I actually think you need both of those episodes. So far, I'm really digging it. Not really anything negative to my mind out of this batch of episodes that I haven't already said. Sledge's costume is a little suspect, but it's growing on me. Beyond that, not much. I almost feel like Curio's voice has changed already. Like maybe they switched voice actors midstream, and that was a little jarring if I'm right. Or the actor's just trying to find the voice. I'm not sure. But yeah, what I'm seeing so far, I'm really liking. Maybe they could have done more with the radar idea. Maybe the bad guys could have had it a little longer. They have one of the Terra Chargers, the Gold Chargers, and they have the location of the Terra Zord. So So maybe they could have done more with that, but who knows? In short, so far so good. I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to the next 4. So even my wife has not poo-pooed on it too bad thus far, and for Power Rangers, that's an accomplishment. So, with that said, folks, I hope you're enjoying the show. Next week, we're going to be checking out episodes 9 through 12. So for those of you keeping up with us at home, that means we're going to be on Volume 3 of the single discs. That's Breakout. And we're going to be checking out When Logic Fails, The Royal Rangers, Breakout, and Night After Nights next time as we look at more Power Rangers Dino Charge. Until then, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate that. You can help support the ECS network and all the great shows here, DenziBlitz, DenziCaster, Rage Quit Radio, 8-Star Anime, Chopsaki Cinema, and so on, by going over to cafepress.com/ECS network, maybe pick up a cool t-shirt or two, or go over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/ECS network, and become one of our patrons. So folks, until next time when we've got more Dino Charge on the way, I'm Mike. We'll see you around.